Hello creeps, welcome back to Library Macabre. My name is Cameron Chaney, author of the Autumn Crow books, and today we're going to be looking at Goosebumps Collectibles. By collectibles, I mean
vintage toys, board games, newer toys, action figures, Happy Meal toys, VHS tapes, the works.
And then after I show you some of my spooky Goosebumps collectibles, we're going to be going on a tour of my apartment so I can show you some of the other Goosebumps things that I have kind of sprinkled throughout my house. But first, let's take a look at some of my Goosebumps collectibles that I have here in my Goosebumps shrine right after these messages.
Everybody's getting goosebumps at Pizza Hut because there's a free Hunter mask with the $6.95 Kids Works, plus a hideous Goosebumps hand puppet for $2.95. But it's for a limited time, so hurry.
Welcome back, creeps. We are going to look at the Goosebumps walkie-talkie that I have here. This is Curly the skeleton, looking cool as always. Now, I've had this since I was just a little tyke, and I used to have the full set, which came with the haunted mask. I don't know what happened to it. Just sometime over the last 25 years, it's gotten lost. So we just have Curly right now, and he does not work. So one of these days, I would love to get a complete set again and have them actually work. I mean, work to the best of a walkie-talkie's abilities. Underneath Curly the skeleton, we also have another holographic Goosebumps item. This is a Goosebumps necklace that has the mummy from Curse of the Mummy's tomb. I also have something pretty one-of-a-kind here. This is a drawing, a sketch from Tim Jacobus himself. Tim Jacobus, of course, did all of the original covers for the Goosebumps books, and he drew this. This is him. Like, he did this with his own hands. This is a real sketch that he signed. One of my prized possessions. I also have these amazing Goosebumps book cover magnets. These are magnets designed by Trick or Treat Studios to look just like the original books. I was going to take these out of the packaging and put them on my fridge, but I decided to keep them pristine in the packaging. So we have Stay Out of the Basement. We've got The Haunted Mask, my favorite book. We have Night of the Living Dummy, and Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns, another one of my favorite books. Next is a Micro Games little handheld game. This is a One Day at Horrorland themed. I've had this one since I was a kid too. This came out in 1996. I believe I got it for Christmas that year, or maybe my birthday. Hopefully this shows up on camera okay. This is a Goosebumps holographic watch. We also have a cool design on the strap itself. And then this also opens up so you can, tell the time. You also probably noticed that I have a Goosebumps alarm clock behind me. As a kid, I had this on my bedside table. I actually have some home video right here. You can see exactly how it was set up inside of my childhood bedroom. On the fingers of the clock, I've got some Goosebumps rings. So there's a Curly the skeleton ring, the Abominable Snowman of Pasadena, Cuddles the hamster, and the shrunken head. These rings also came in a set with these keychains. Again, I got these as a kid for either Christmas or a birthday. So we've got Abominable Snowman here and Curly the skeleton. It also came with a shrunken head. I loved the shrunken head as a kid because it actually kind of does just look like a shrunken head. So I would like to pretend that this wasn't a keychain, that it was an actual shrunken head. I was a bit of a nerd. Here's another Goosebumps keychain that I got when I was a kid. It's a squishy, slimy, slappy, very fun to squeeze. Of course, I do have a haunted library or two. Please don't comment down below and say, oh, since you have two, can you send me one? These were both given to me as gifts, and I'm gonna keep both of them because I cherish both of these. I actually had a haunted library as a kid, but sometime in the process of my parents getting a divorce and having to move house, it got thrown away. I don't know what exactly happened, but it was no longer in my possession. So a really good friend of mine tracked one down for me a couple years ago. This is a Hershey's branded promotional item where Hershey's and Goosebumps teamed up. In boxes of Hershey's, Pepsi, and Doritos, you could look for exclusive tiny little Goosebumps books written by R.L. Stine himself. Once you collected the 2 different books, you could send in some proof of purchase and you could get the Haunted Library featuring the Halloween game, which is a very, very limited exclusive Goosebumps book. So I do have 2 Haunted Libraries, one of which has the Goosebumps Haunted Library bookmark, which is actually just a piece of paper, but it's a very rare piece of paper. Here we have a Goosebumps wallet that was sent to me by Scholastic itself. This was sent as kind of a promotional item for the Goosebumps House of Shivers series. They sent it along with this Goosebumps House of Shivers flashlight. I also have just a regular Goosebumps flashlight that I got as a gift. I think it's from Etsy. We also have this incredible Goosebumps pencil holder. I'm going to open this up for you so you can see the spring-loaded action that this thing has. It's kind of epic. Are you ready for this? Look at that. He can hold 2 pencils. It's so good. It's so extra. This is probably the weirdest item in my Goosebumps collection, but also the coolest. This is a Goosebumps Live on Stage tram car. Goosebumps Live on Stage was an actual Goosebumps Broadway stage show that you could see, I think in 1998 or 1999. I wanted to go so bad back then, but of course we didn't know where it was showing, and it was shown a very limited number of times, unfortunately. It was also shown at the Opera House in Winter Gardens, Blackpool. So there you go. There's an actual replica of a tram car that you would have seen on the streets in the UK in the 90s advertising Goosebumps Live on Stage. How cool is that?
Follow me to a place where creepy things crawl and monsters grow 60 feet tall. Oh, look how much fun they're having.
Goosebumps Live on Stage, coming fall 1998.
Next, I have a couple of Goosebumps collectible action figures. This is an original one from 1996. It is Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, of course. I also have the Monster Blood 2 Cuddles the Hamster one. Here we've got all 3 of the Goosebumps mugs, which are amazing. So these are pretty much in brand new condition. We've got the Haunted Mask, we've got Slappy, which just looks hilarious to me, and the Mummy, of course. These also have the tags inside, or at least one of them do. Here is the tag for the Slappy mug. A teeny tiny little bookcase full of miniature Goosebumps books. Oh, they're super tiny. It's hard to hold them in my fingers. My friend Kelsey from Slime and Slashers got this for me. If you've not followed her, definitely go follow her right now. She's amazing, and she does talk about Goosebumps some on her channel. Also on this shelf, I have a teeny tiny little Goosebumps Haunted Mask book, which does actually open, and it does have some text inside. Not very much, it's just like 1 or 2 chapters. I have a teeny tiny collection of Goosebumps pins. We have a pin of the Haunted Mask. There's Carly Beth's head. We also have from Little Shop of Gore, a Blob That Ate Everyone pin, another Haunted Mask pin. This is actually a button. And then this is actually one of the Goosebumps caps. You could find these caps in a set with these collectible Goosebumps Collector's Caps books. Just a weird little artifact from the 90s. If you know, you know. Here's a vintage button. This came out at the time of the Haunted Mask video release. Fun fact, the VHS came out on March 12th, which is my birthday. And of course, you know I have the brand new Goosebumps Funko Pop figures. These just came out last Halloween. Here is the Haunted Mask Barnes & Noble exclusive, which does glow if you put it under a black light. Freaking awesome. I don't have just the regular one. I'm really just happy with having this blacklight exclusive edition. We also have the Attack of the Mutant Funko Pop figure, the Night of the Living Dummy Slappy Funko, the Bad Hair Day one. Love him, he's so cute. He's coming out of the magician's hat, which you can't really see in the box. And we have the Ultra Deluxe Funko of the Werewolf of Fever Swamp. I hope they keep doing these. I'm gonna keep collecting them as they come out. There are also some Goosebumps Trick or Treat Studios action figures that are coming out very soon. I did pre-order mine. It's just been delayed, so we'll just wait and see when they come in, and I'll probably do a little short about those when they arrive. Let's look at some more vintage items. I have a jumbo sticker set. These were stickers that you could put all over your wall in your bedroom. I did have a whole bunch of these as a kid. This is a brand new sealed set that I have not opened because I don't know, I want to keep them pristine. We also have a Goosebumps binder. Big old jumbo binder from the 90s. This has the Haunted Mask 2 on it. This was a recent acquisition that I found in a toy store. I also have a Goosebumps folder. I used to own a lot of different Goosebumps folders back in the day. This is so far the only one that's survived. If I find any others one day, fingers crossed that I will, I'll eventually show those off too, but this is the only one I have at the moment. We also have a box. Just a box. It is a Ghost Beach, and it's made to look like a Goosebumps book. This is actually from Creepy Company, and inside of this you had a t-shirt, and I think you had some, I don't know, some stickers and maybe a pair of socks. I bought this a long time ago, so I don't really remember. I do have the t-shirt still that came with it. Next is a Goosebumps mug. Just has various Goosebumps covers on it, and it is full of all kinds of bookmarks and stickers and goodies. Let's look at the stickers first. We've got some stickers from Etsy. These were all given to me by my friend Kelsey from Slime and Slashers. All kinds of really cool, really well-designed Goosebumps stickers. I love these. Eventually, I'd like to turn them into magnets. What else do we have in this mug of wonders? We have an original Goosebumps fan club pin, which was given to me by my friend Michael Bailiff from Witching Season Films. Go check them out on YouTube. If you haven't, go check out their movies. They are awesome. We have an original Goosebumps Haunted Mask holographic bookmark, which came in the Goosebumps Haunted Mask VHS tape. Another Goosebumps bookmark that I've had since I was a little kid. Here's a Goosebumps bookmark that a friend of mine made. Some other Goosebumps bookmarks that came in various Goosebumps books. Books would often come with trading cards as well, so here are some loose trading cards that I've collected over the years. Moving on, I have quite the collection of Goosebumps cassette tapes. There are quite a few different kinds of cassette tapes that have come out over the years. For instance, the Goosebumps Sounds of Halloween cassette, which you can also get on CD. I prefer a nice cassette tape, honestly. Here is the Goosebumps TV soundtrack on cassette. This is from Enjoy the Tunes Records. I also have the two different vinyl albums that they released, and I will show those off here in a minute. But this is the cassette tape that has the Haunted Mask and Slappy. So this one is not vintage, but these are. This is a set of the audiobooks, the Goosebumps audiobooks. So we have A Night in Terror Tower that came in these really nice cardboard boxes. And then there you've got the plastic case inside. I love these audiobooks so much. You can listen to them on YouTube. So if you don't want to track down the actual cassette tapes, or if you have no way of playing them, just go to YouTube and listen to them. They're great. They've got a full cast. They've got music. They've got sound effects. It's a really good way to experience the original Goosebumps books. They are lightly abridged, but it's worth it just for all of the additional like sound effects and stuff. It adds a lot of ambiance to the books.
We'll be right back for Goosebumps on Fox Kids. Coming up next is part 2 of the Goosebumps Hour, followed by Fox Kids Pick of the Week and Sam and Max Freelance Police. So stay in your seats and stay tuned to Fox Kids.
We're at a little bit of an accident, but we're okay. Nothing's damaged, so let's proceed. Here we have both of the Goosebumps vinyl records of the soundtrack from Enjoy the Tunes Records. They released this one initially, which is a very kind of plain record. There's not a whole lot to it, other than the record itself is pretty cool, I have to say. But here's where it's really at, because Enjoy the Tunes Records put out this amazing deluxe edition of the soundtrack, which is actually 2 vinyls. Look at that, isn't that artwork amazing. So you have additional tracks from the soundtrack on this, as well as a bunch of spooky sounds. It's really great. I think it's sold out now, but if you can manage to get your hands on this, do it. It is worth every penny. And if you're a fan of the Goosebumps movie from several years ago now, I was gonna say a few years ago, but the movie came out in 2015, so it's almost 10 years old. Whew, boy. Here is the Goosebumps movie soundtrack, which was put out by Waxwork Records, one of the best in the biz. I love that Tim Jacobus came back and did some original Goosebumps art, which has Curly the Skeleton on it. I love that. This is also a double record set with some amazing artwork there. Oh man, that looks so good. I want to frame that. Put it on my wall. I'm not a super fan of the movie. Everybody knows this already, but I do actually really like the soundtrack. I think Danny Elfman did a great job, as he always does. A couple of smaller Goosebumps items, which some people would argue this actually is not a small Goosebumps item. I had no idea this was rare until one of my patrons told me, like, you got a really good deal on this because it's like one of the rarest Goosebumps items ever. So this is a tiny little sneak preview of Tales to Give You Goosebumps. It's got one of the short stories in it. You know, it's nothing new. It's nothing that you can't read inside the book, but this is actually a very, very, very rare Goosebumps item. And I'm glad I was able to get this. Here's also a tiny little Goosebumps stationery card that I got from my friend Grace from Instagram, as well as a couple of Goosebumps address journal books. This is a journal, Shocker on Shock Street, Haunted Mask address book, and a slappy Goosebumps Horrorland promotional journal / notebook thing. Here's another Cameron original. This is the Terror Tower model toy kit thing. I don't know exactly what you call this. I have had this for so long and I adore it, but it is missing a couple of pieces, unfortunately. I also have a Goosebumps book and cap pack. I bought this maybe 15 years ago or so, before Goosebumps items started getting really expensive. Oh my gosh, where did this come from? It is a Loungefly Haunted Mask backpack. I love this thing. The design is great. And I love that the inside of the bag actually has that classic Goosebumps Splat logo inside. Looks super sharp. I've also got a few of those Goosebumps puzzles. This one I recently got. It's a Ghost Beach puzzle. I've not opened it yet to see if it's actually complete. I found this in a thrift store and just grabbed it because it was such a good deal. It was $15, which actually is kind of expensive. But when you look at these online, they go for quite a bit more than that. I've actually had these ones since I was a little kid, and I've put them together many times, but unfortunately they are missing a couple of the pieces now. I also have quite a few Goosebumps board games here. Some of these are vintage, some of them are newer, like this one here, Goosebumps the Game. A very fun board game, I have to say. You can get this right now. I ordered this off Amazon last year, so it's very new, very fresh Goosebumps game. But I recommend it because it does have that classic Goosebumps flair, as you can see. Another new one that I got this year for Christmas is the Goosebumps Clue game. Clue is my favorite board game ever. I love Clue with all my heart. I have played it so many times, it's crazy. I am just a big mystery nut, so Clue is a great game, and the fact that there is now a Goosebumps Clue game is absolutely wild to me, and I am excited to actually play this. This one's vintage. This is the Goosebumps Shrieks and Spiders game. It's more of a card game, as you can see here. It's quite fun, very simple and straightforward, but it's a 90s good time, you could say, back when games were just a little bit simpler. This is like one of my prized possessions. This is the Goosebumps One Day at Horrorland board game. It is complete and it is in great shape. You can actually like build a roller coaster in this thing. It's so fun. I love it. So yeah, Goosebumps One Day at Horrorland, the board game, it's freaking huge. And I actually have two of the Goosebumps Terror in the Graveyard games, and that's because this one here is my original board game from when I was a kid. It's in bad shape, it's missing a lot of pieces. I recently found this one, which is in much better shape, and it does include all the pieces. But no matter what, I can't get rid of this. It has too many memories for me. So even though it's in bad shape and it's incomplete, I'm keeping it. So I've got two Terror in the Graveyard games.
Goosebumps. Terror in the Graveyard game. Goosebumps. Get through the graveyard alive or be changed into a monster. Goosebumps. Terror in the Graveyard game. Collect bells. Avoid hidden traps. Find the magic ring. Defeat the headless ghost. I win! Goosebumps. Terror in the Graveyard game.
We also have the Goosebumps storytelling card game. So another card game very much like the Shrieks and Spiders game, except it's just a deck of cards. It has some really fun artwork on these cards. Let me see if I can show you. So there's the backs of the cards, and you've got just all kinds of really fun, cool illustrations. This guy. The Freaky Faces Goosebumps toys were some of my very, very favorites growing up. I love these so much because they're just Goosebumps boglins, and who doesn't love a good boglin? I actually had a whole bunch of these as a kid, but unfortunately, you know, over the years, they just got destroyed. I had a Mud Monster one, I had a Curly the Skeleton one, and there are many, many others to collect. This is the only one I have right now. I got a pretty good deal on this on eBay. I would love to collect more, but this is all I've got for now, and I love him. He's so cute. This is a Goosebumps tin, by the way. It's a recent release that was put out by Scholastic, and it does have some of the original Goosebumps covers inside, but these are all just reprints. I'm less interested in reprints, but I do love this really cool tin, and there are a bunch of others that I would kind of like to get eventually. This is freaking amazing. So this is a Taco Bell Happy Meal box, and it's got all of the Goosebumps creatures on it. It's foiled, so it's got this really cool shiny effect to it. Briefly, Taco Bell did this Goosebumps toy line where they had these 4 different toys, and if you were lucky, you could also get this awesome box that went along with them. I actually do have the toys, which I will show you here in a moment.
Goosebumps are life, and enter the Fox Kids Escape into Goosebumps Sweepstakes. If you win, you'll be the only kid on the planet to play the new Goosebumps Escape from Horrorland CD-ROM game in a real movie theater on the big screen in your town full of your friends. You'll also win a computer with mounds of CD-ROM software, including Goosebumps Escape from Horrorland. 400 others win a Goosebumps Escape from Horrorland CD-ROM game and t-shirt. You won't have a ghost of a chance to win unless you get a postcard with your name and address by January 3rd to Fox Kids Escape into Goosebumps, P.O. Box 1129, Los Angeles 90078.
So here are the Goosebumps Taco Bell toys that go with the Goosebumps box I showed you. We have Curly the Skeleton. If you wind this one back, he skitters along a surface and his mouth opens and closes. We have Cuddles the hamster over here. You can turn him inside out. We have Slappy the dummy. He's like a candy dispenser, and I actually do have the candy that comes with him. And Goosebumps Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. If you open this up, the mummy is inside and you can unwind him. This is a Goosebumps card that a friend of mine gave to me. It's got Piano Lessons Can Be Murder on the cover. Coming on down, a pack of sealed Goosebumps stickers. We have a Wendy's Kids Meal What's the Difference Challenge CD-ROM game, and a couple of Goosebumps Haunted Mask promotional rulers. I think these came out at the time of the VHS tape. Of course, a Goosebumps collection would not be complete without the Goosebumps collectible trading cards. I have a couple of the individual sets here. I have like 6 different cards inside, but I also have a complete set of trading cards in this box. Just up from my Goosebumps shrine, we also have the side of this bookcase here, which has a whole bunch of Goosebumps related things. We've got a couple of Goosebumps flashlights still sealed in the packaging, a sealed pack of Goosebumps pencils, another Goosebumps pencil here, but this one has a topper with one of the horrors from Horrorland, a Goosebumps Haunted Mask sticker, and a Goosebumps door hanger with the Executioner from A Night in Terror Tower. Ooh. On my book cart over here in the corner, I have a Goosebumps sticker, and we've got a Haunted Mask. This is a licensed magnet from Creepy Company, and this one is not licensed. This one came from Etsy, I'm pretty sure. It's a Give Yourself Goosebumps magnet. So here is my retro nook where I have quite a few Goosebumps related items. For instance, here's a Goosebumps Haunted Mask t-shirt and mask set. The t-shirt is now way too small for me, but I do still have the mask. We also have my collection of Goosebumps DVDs, my Goosebumps original VHS tapes. These are the ones that I have had since I was just a little kid. I used to own Bride of the Living Dummy, but I don't know what happened to it. It's been missing for years now. On the guest bed here, I've got a couple of different Goosebumps blankets. This is a Curly the Skeleton one that I got from Creepy Company. This one is a Haunted Mask blanket that I have folded up. And then underneath both of these is an original Goosebumps quilt, a sheet that I've had since I was a kid. That's why it looks so bleached and worn out. It's because it's been through the washer a ton of times. We also have my prized Cuddles the hamster pillow, which I just think is adorable. Next, we have a display case containing 3 different Goosebumps masks, all from Trick or Treat Studios. In my bedroom, we have multiple Goosebumps posters like this one here, given to me by my friend Kelsey. Iconic illustration here of R.L. Stine surrounded by his monsters, the Haunted Mask 2, and Welcome to Dead House original video store posters advertising the VHS tapes. I also have a signed high quality print of the artwork of Welcome to Dead House. It is signed by Tim Jacobus. And of course, there's Goosebumps apparel, of which I have quite a bit. You've seen my Goosebumps jersey that I've been wearing in this video. I also have this pair of Goosebumps socks, as well as a whole bunch of different t-shirts.
I'm here at the annual Goosebumps Fright Show Christmas party, and it's a weird one. No thanks, I'm allergic to monster blood. Oh, sweet. Oh, well, that would make a lovely centerpiece. Oh, nothing like rats and sauerkraut. No, you know, I usually don't kiss giant hamsters on the first date. Merry Christmas to all. Gotta go.
So there you have it. Those are my Goosebumps collectibles, toys, board games, the works. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a comment down below and give me a thumbs up to let me know that you enjoyed it. I will be back soon with even more videos of my Goosebumps collection, and I am currently planning out a Goosebumps kind of breeding vlog series. I'd like to go back to the beginning of the series and start reading them now as an adult. Something that I would like to do within the coming months, so stay tuned for that. Thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you in another episode of Library Macabre. Later, creeps.